Good evening, everyone. It's a little after 6:01 actually. I want to start this meeting on time because we do have public speak out for 6:30. This is a public safety meeting, and I'm joined by my colleagues, Zeta Goban, City Councilor Zeta Goban, City Councilor Brian Santinello, and City Councilor President Mike Fenton. And then if we just go out around the room, just those folks that are in, just introduce themselves because I don't know everybody in the room, so that way we can have it on the record, please. Start this way.
Attorney Ken Shea from the Law Department.
Officer Martin Curley, President of the Patrolmen's Union, Springfield.
Yeah, retired Springfield Police Officer Misael Rodriguez.
Retired Springfield Police Sergeant John Kent.
Pat Burns, Comptroller.
Kathy Bauer,
Steve County Solicitor.
Roy Goodman, Other Affairs.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to read this. I'm not going to read this memo in its entirety, but I'm going to open up with this, and then we'll open up to our city officials here. May have some comments to support this gentleman here. This is a memo that we received from the city of Springfield, and myself, the mayor, and also City Councilor Mike Fenton is in support of this. And it's a special act that we're looking to have sent up to the court, to general court for passage. If this is passed by the general court, the governor must sign the act, and the act shall take effect upon the execution. The act provides special benefits to the retired police officer, Mr. Rodriguez, who suffered severe physical injuries during a violent felonious assault while in the performance of his duties on November 5th, 2020. And as a result, is totally and permanently incapacitated from performing the essential duties of a police officer. The act provides that the annual amount of pension payable to Mr. Rodriguez shall be equal to the regular rate of compensation which would have been paid had he continued in service as a police officer of the city of Springfield at the grade held by him at the time of his retirement until his death or reaching mandatory retirement age, whichever comes first. All amounts paid under this act shall be non-taxable to the extent allowable under state law and federal law. The act provides that upon attaining the mandatory retirement age for a police officer of the city of Springfield, Mr. Rodriguez shall receive a pension pursuant to Section 7 of subchapter 32, a yearly amount of pension equal to 80% of the annual rate of the compensation he was receiving on the day before he reached the mandatory retirement age for a police officer in the city of Springfield. Now, we do have this memo, and I'll read it into its entirety when we have our meeting. But I want to start there. First off, saying thank you for your service, for what you did for us here in the city of Springfield. It's unfortunate what happened, but we're here to support you, and hopefully we'll push this through tonight. You have my support with this, and I want to open it up to our counselors. If they have any questions first, and then kick it to our city team so they can also expound on this as well.
I mean,
Yes.
I don't think that I have any questions. I did review the memo. And I think it makes absolute sense to do the special act in light of your service to the city, which I appreciate very much and thank you for. So as a city council, I would definitely be voting in favor of this at the 7 o'clock meeting.
Thank you. Any other?
I also want to say that I want to thank you for your service. It's a dangerous job, and you paid a price for that. And I'm planning on voting for this when it comes before the council this evening. I'm just delighted to do this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other councilors have any comments or questions? All right, if not, I'll just open up to our city team if they want to make any comments at this time, but I just want to read that brief synopsis there, and take it from there. If you guys don't have anything.
There'll be a financial order after this if it passes. we had an actuarial estimate and it would need an extra $500,000 added to the pension system. To the retirement, when we will put that in the retirement account, but we will not cut the check to the retirement department until the act passes, which I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
So I will present that after
Yeah.
this passes.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, absolutely.
A brief summary of what this bill would be. In fact, what we're asking the council to do this evening is adopt the order tonight to then have the bill filed with the state legislature. We wanted to recognize Officer Rodriguez's contribution and his injury that was sustained in the line of duty.
Yeah.
Officer Rodriguez is currently, if I understand correctly, is currently retired for an accidental disability retirement. But based upon the unique circumstances of this matter, the city wanted to entertain something that was more favorable for his retirement. And so while he currently would be collecting 72% of his salary upon the date of retirement, what this matter will do is allow him to collect 100% of his salary up to the age of 65. And upon that time, he would allow him to be retired as if he had worked until the age of 65, which would then be 80% of what the salary of the average patrol officer is on the date of that retirement. Further, it will allow for a return of all of his accumulated deductions that he had contributed to the system while employed. So this is a much more aggressive action on behalf of the city. We heard quite clearly from members of the city council and the mayor who wanted to be favorable to Officer Rodriguez. We know that this is a unique circumstance, and I'll keep saying to you, unique circumstance, because financial team and us are just concerned about precedent setting.
Yeah.
Knowing that there are other officers or firefighters who might be concerned or who might be eager to do this. But we wanted to open the door, but ever so slightly.
Yeah.
With all that in consideration, Mr. Chairman, we drafted this in a way that we thought would do that. Finally, we do believe that this legislation will be passed this year. This is a special act, and it's a special act. It will have to get referred to a committee and then ultimately have a hearing. And then finally, hopefully be adopted first by the House of Representatives, second by the Senate, and then signed by the governor. That all takes time, Mr. Chairman, but and their formal sessions end on July 31st. We don't expect this matter to be done by July 31st. But we do expect that it will happen at some point in the fall. They can still do it in what's called an informal session. The legislature stays in session for the entire year. So at some point in the fall, and it will likely be adopted. We don't think there's any issues. I'll speak on behalf of Pat Burns, my favorite guy in the room. But we've done a vetting of this to make sure that the PARE Act, the state retirement system, has reviewed the language and is supportive of the language, or at least accepts the terms that we've described as drafted. And they've already done that. So we've kind of cleared the decks to make sure that this should be smoothly done. And as Kathy Bonos mentioned, once the matter is in fact passed, then there would be the transfer of the funds to support it.
We have to make sure everyone realizes that if we're gonna do something like this, it has to be funded.
Yes.
Mhm. If I may, Mr. Chair, so I'm glad that you brought that up, Attorney Bonacani, because I was thinking about precedent. And I was hoping that this would not be necessarily setting a precedent for automatically any city employed to experience this. I understand these are special circumstances, and any police officer, that gets hurt on the job is, not a good thing, and we need to make sure that we take care of them. Just like our veterans, I feel, if our veterans went and served their country, they should come back and we should serve them. So I believe the same thing for our police officers. So I'm glad that you're talking about a unique circumstance and that it's not necessarily setting a precedent, because then, slippery slope, of course. So I appreciate that. But I think in this circumstance, I totally agree. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? So meeting is adjourned. We'll see everybody at 7 o'clock. 6.